You strong.
Kim SeoJoon fell face down on the ground. He was sullen, his whole body trembling and muttering to himself, "I thought I could make it through, Aida, it hurts so much." Notification system about teaching progress, rate of conducting teaching on Chiron, plus 5.1%, 71%, rate of conducting teaching on Shakyamuni, plus 4.5%, 7%, the rate of conducting teaching about martial arts, plus 1%, 19.1%, Kim SeoJoon found some joy after failure. Just as he thought, as expected, thanks to the attack, the rate of advancement to the weapon class increased. Kim SeoJoon sat up, stupidly wondering if with this momentum, before the end of this semester, if he did well, I wonder if he could complete 2 subjects. His face smiled like a flower when he saw something. The system asks, "Do you want to try again? Remaining chance, 3. Kim SeoJoon still didn't give up, excited to try again. "Let's go, okay, I'll try again and see how it goes." Park Seo-eun walked in and asked him, "SeoJoon, haven't you been to the dungeon lately?" Kim SeoJoon is currently using a phone with a black background. Kim SeoJoon admitted, "That's right, I don't have time to go out, for now I'm focusing on practicing a bit." Park Seo-eun asked in disbelief, You said you don't have time?" Kim SeoJoon scratched the back of his head, guessing what she was thinking. She would probably be suspicious, because she was just staring at her phone all day, so what would she do if she didn't have time? Park Seo-eun pointed to the pile of papers on top. He said, "Then I'll go ahead and prepare some documents." Score notification system. Member Kim SeoJoon's combat chemistry score is 4.2 points, combat strength, 4.2 out of 100, failed, elementary physical strength, being classified, improvisation, sorting, mana, sorting, spirit, sorting, selected course 1, not selected, selected course 1, not selected. He remembered the day before sitting and talking crazy. Farnier was the strongest, I was the first person in the universe. Kim SeoJoon was stiff with glue, exclaimed, "I failed the first subject of this period." Looking at the rate table, he thought to himself, "The problem is that the course completion rate increased slower than I thought." The rates Kim SeoJoon has achieved are, the rate of progress in teaching Chiron, 80.3 parts. The rate of teaching in Shakyamuni, 84.5%, the rate of teaching about martial arts, 19.9%. Kim SeoJoon also realized the truth, real combat is just a way to quickly become enlightened about the courses. From there I can only gradually understand the content I have learned, and when applying it, I will be more effective. Course completion rates increased. Kim SeoJoon calculated that 3 days later, the transcendental mock exam would be conducted. If I spent that time listening to lectures, it would be more beneficial. He silently made up his mind, so now let's try to finish the lecture. 3 days later. You decided to take another course, Course 2, Elementary Physical Fitness. Question 1, please give the correct answer to the problem conducted in the following 15 stages. Preparing questions for Stage 1, please wait a second. Kim SeoJoon looked at his phone, he silently wondered what would happen this time. The system announced that preparations were complete. A ball appeared in his hand. Kim SeoJoon puzzled and wondered, Look at the red ball in your hand. He was still bewildered, not understanding what was going on. What this was, Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, it looked like the Dragon Ball in the 7 Dragon Balls. But he didn't notice that there was an animal behind him. The phone announces the problem, Level 1, within the specified time, keep the Dragon Ball and escape the pursuit of the python Kang Chul. Kim SeoJoon looked at the python behind him. Requirements of the test, avoid all attacks from Kang Chul, time limit, 1 hour. Look at the huge python bearing its fangs in front of him. Kim SeoJoon couldn't believe his eyes. He wondered if this was elementary physical strength. The bewildered face of a young man who didn't understand anything. After a while, the phone rang. Phase 1, failed, remaining time 59 minutes 57 seconds, the system announced, do you want to try again? Chance left, 10 times. Telephone notification of course progress, Chiron teaching progress rate plus 7.2%, 87.5%, dance class teaching progress rate, plus 5.3%, 89.8%. After trying many times, Kim SeoJoon decided to change the course. Third course, improvise, level 1, destroy the Sphinx, or survive in the 5 hearing state of the operation, time limit 10-minute period. The Sphinx appeared before him, speaking a strange language. Kim SeoJoon rolled his eyes and exclaimed, what the hell? He looked at the Sphinx that was several times taller than him, wondering, maybe it's still human. Then the system announces the rate of lectures, the rate of teaching Chiron, plus 0.2%, 87.7%, the rate of teaching about martial arts, plus 1.1%, 90.9%. Moving on to the next course, the system introduces the topic, the fourth course, Mana, Level 1, within a limited time to restrain Pulgasari's appetite. If Pulgasari is not fully supplied with mana, he will think about eat yourself, time limit, 30 minutes. Kim SeoJoon raised his hand and released his mana. The Pulgasari had not yet absorbed magic power, it exclaimed, hungry, so hungry. After feeding it for a long time, Kim SeoJoon asked it, wait, how much do you need to eat? Kim SeoJoon ran away, crying tears, complaining, I don't know what. Pulgasari rolled her eyes and watched him leave. System notification, Chiron teaching progress rate, plus 7.2%, 94.9%, martial class teaching progress rate, plus 5.4%, 96.3%. Go to the fifth course, Spirit, Level 1, within the time limit listen to Siren's song, time limit, 30 minutes. Siren sang the song very softly. Kim SeoJoon commented, it sounded good. He wondered, maybe it affected Shakyamuni's unmoved mind. Not long after, he also passed Phase 1, this was the first subject Kim SeoJoon passed. Kim SeoJoon found it too simple, happy and proud, no, he passed Level 1 the first few times, this must be Level 15, but he didn't pay attention, a girl was looking at him with red eyes. Next topic, fifth course, Spirit, Level 1, within limited time listen to Helheim's Soul Song, limited time, 30 minutes. Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, it hurts his ears. After finishing the course, the system notifies, the rate of teaching progress in Shakyamuni, plus 1%, 15.5%. Kim SeoJoon lamented his score, it was terrible. His transcript, member Kim SeoJoon's mock exam score, fighting strength 4.2 out of 100, failed, elementary physical strength, 3.7 out of 100, failed, improvisation minus, 2.3 out of 100, fail, Mama 1.2 out of 100, fail, Spirit 9.8 out of 100, fail, selected course 1, not selected, selected course 1, not selected. The system notifies the rate of conducting teaching on Chiron, 94.9%, the rate of conducting teaching on Shakyamuni, 15.5%, the rate of conducting teaching on Shangwu, 96.3%, proportion of conducting Merlin teaching, 19.9%. Kim SeoJoon sat on the floor, he calculated a bit, if it keeps going like this, I'm sure I can pass 2 subjects, what if I complete the course? Attention Kim SeoJoon, there are still 2 unselected courses, which course should I choose first? He muttered to himself, at first when choosing Level 9, there were no related categories regarding course selection among the 10 answers given. Kim SeoJoon rubbed his chin, wondering if he had to wait until the exam day to choose. However, he decided to choose optimism, ignore life, well, we'll know what happens, so just wait for now. Kim SeoJoon doesn't know why but bites his nails. Park Seo-eun walked in and asked him, SeoJoon, what are you doing? You don't look very well these past few days. Kim SeoJoon was startled, panicked and replied, no, nothing at all, don't worry, ha. Kim SeoJoon's feelings now are, crazy, just crazy. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, 3 days have passed but there is still no announcement. He sat and thought for a bit about the free pass. The remaining time of the free pass was 5 days. He was just a little closer to completing the course, but he didn't know if he should immediately go back to the dungeon. Again. Kim SeoJoon stood up and made up his mind. Compared to waiting for an unknown amount of time like this, going back is better. Kim SeoJoon firmly thought to himself, from now on if he notifies me again, I won't. His phone suddenly appeared with a purple light. Mentor Angel appeared, happily greeted, long time no see, member Kim SeoJoon. Kim SeoJoon shouted in panic, startled. Mentor asked about his health, had he been okay lately? Kim SeoJoon couldn't believe his eyes and asked, Mentor. Mentor smiled awkwardly and rubbed the back of his neck to avoid embarrassment, hey, I'm a bit late back. Kim SeoJoon was still shocked and asked again, Mentor. Mentor happily walked out, said hello, he asked, it seemed like he was still living well. Kim SeoJoon angrily shouted, oh, what are you doing, why are you here now? Mentor covered his ears, exclaiming, oh my god. Park Seo-eun was stunned on the spot, wondering, are you talking to me? Yes. Park Seo-eun asked him, what did SeoJoon just say? Kim SeoJoon hid the phone behind his back, shook his head to deny, no, it's nothing. Park SeoJoon still had some doubts. Is that so? Did I hear wrong? Kim SeoJoon held on, probably because she was tired lately. So I'll excuse myself. Then he quickly ran away. Outside the park, Kim SeoJoon asked, what happened? He asked in a cold voice, why are you so late? The mentor knelt on the carpet, obediently silent. Mentor rubbed his head and said the reason, which was, well, because I thought SeoJoon would still be fine without me. Kim SeoJoon shouted angrily, don't make excuses. Mentor heard that and continued, so I'll be honest, Kim SeoJoon's face was as black as a pot's bottom. He angrily ordered, yes, tell the truth. Mentor said the reason for coming back, accidentally touching his sore spot. Actually, after checking your profile, I came back, really, but it was too pathetic. Kim SeoJoon was a bit confused and asked again, tragic, what does that mean? Mentor explains, is Kim SeoJoon's qualifications. Then the mentor didn't say anything more, they both looked at each other silently. Mentor continued to say, now, with SeoJoon, L's level, I don't have much advice to give you, so I think you should focus on listening to the 2 lectures, but I suggest you better. Kim SeoJoon moved his hand to rub his eyes, it fell in front of his eyes, raised his head. Mentor saw this ridiculous action, bowed his eyes slightly, spoke up, free pass period. Then in short, my advice must help improve your level to be meaningful. Kim SeoJoon blamed himself, damn, I was convinced, I couldn't get angry with him, even though I didn't intend to get angry with him. Kim SeoJoon requested, if so, please tell me what it is. The mentor bowed his head 90 degrees and said sincerely, I'm very sorry about that. Mentor moved on to other things. During the time without me, you listened to the lectures diligently, right? Kim SeoJoon admitted, yes, I ran everywhere, listening to the lectures very diligently. Mentor smiled brightly, took Kim SeoJoon's phone and suggested, let me try to check. After checking, the mentor's face was not very forgiving. Its expression changed as it slid down. Mentor was a bit confused, wondering, what's wrong with him? Kim SeoJoon asked him in confusion, what's going on? Mentor felt a bit confused, said again, no, it's nothing serious, but why are there 4 lectures playing, and what's more, the lecture ratio is the same. Kim SeoJoon admitted, it was true that I was listening to 4 lectures at once. The mentor looked at him and then panically looked back at the phone. Mentor still couldn't believe it, asked again, is it having an error? It can't be. Kim SeoJoon doesn't understand what it's saying. What did you just say? Mentor spoke out of his sight, all the information on the screen was correct, his expression was excited, he couldn't believe his eyes. Hey! Mentor stammered and asked, wait, you just said all the information here is correct. Kim SeoJoon still didn't understand, asked him, is there a problem? The mentor scratched his head in frustration. Tai said, of course there is. He asked him in confusion, no, what exactly did you do? To say it was terrible is not enough. In just 3 months you were able to achieve this rate of listening to lectures, even though it was the introductory stage. It also takes more time, 3, 4 times more. Kim SeoJoon answered thoughtfully, I just do it haphazardly. I also take the test for superpowers, a lot. Mentor was excited, smiling as if he had a chance to ask him, mock exam, are you even taking a mock exam now? Kim SeoJoon admitted, yes. Mentor laughed loudly, closed his eyes and tried to say something, It said, you don't need me. Kim SeoJoon dialed the phone and asked him, yes, it's a mentor. That reminds me, I'm curious about the mock exam. The mentor is very generous and answers all your questions. Go ahead. Kim SeoJoon said, the elective subjects in the test for super people, how should I choose the exam subjects? Mentor asked again, elective subjects, well you can just choose the subject you want. Mentor looked at the test scores on the notice board, his face looked worse, your combat ability score was 4.2 points, he wondered, oh well. Mentor was also confused and wondered, since, strange, you're taking the exam, why does it show unselected? Kim SeoJoon continued his problem, he doesn't even have the Ultimate Academy's ID, how could that be? Mentor couldn't believe his ears, surely with the thought, there was no such thing. When he asked me if I had done it, Kim SeoJoon shook his head, no, I overlooked it. Mentor speculated, could it be, what are you misunderstanding? Kim SeoJoon held the phone out in front of him, 3 words were written on his face, he looked at it. It says, because you don't have an ID, you can't post. Mentor looked closely, confused and wondered, what is that? It's really speechless, I've never encountered this situation before. After a while it decided, I had to consult the principal. The mentor said a little shyly, "I'll be right back, you just take the rest of the exam." Kim SeoJoon was surprised, asked him, are you going again, are you?" The mentor denied, "No, after consulting, I will return immediately, I swear." He looked at the phone for a while then returned it to him, saying, "I will now handle the optional subjects in the mock exam for you, come on, you can freely choose." He confidently affirmed and flew away. "I will return before the free travel period ends." Kim SeoJoon did not have time to advise again. He clicked his tongue and muttered to himself, "I still have something to ask my mentor, but he's gone. I still have faith in my mentor, but he said he will return before the free pass period ends, so we will probably meet again soon." A notice board appears on the phone asking to choose an elective subject. After listening, he completed one more course. The rate of listening to the lecture added 3.7%, 100%. A beam of light appeared from the screen, so bright that Kim SeoJoon had to cover it with his hand. The notification system, Force Boy Mountain, is like this: you must complete the lesson on spearmanship, Force Boy Mountain, to be able to fully understand it. Kim SeoJoon wondered, comprehending with all his might. He looked at the card in his hand in disbelief. Kim SeoJoon held the spear in his hand, looked around, wondering, could it be? He looked to see if anyone was around. Kim SeoJoon intended to test the power of this spear technique. Kim SeoJoon wondered, what is this? Is it all the power of the force of the mountains? The phone pops up with a notification. Do you want to hear the end of the lecture? Luke Boy's son is like this. Lecturer, Hegemon Xiangvu. Kim SeoJoon asked again, is the lecture over? Hangvu happily said, the day has finally come for you to complete the lecture. I thought you would never come in this lifetime. Visiting students, you have finished listening to the lecture much differently than you did in the beginning. Perhaps you have been able to use the force of the mountain comfortably. But no one is complacent because they have the power of the mountain, right? I hope not. The power of the mountain is the basic of the basics in the process of becoming a superior person. To walk on this path you must qualified. But surely there will still be students who are not aware of this. Every time, that's why I say, you have just been promoted, from other ordinary people to the status of use. You guys still haven't escaped the life of being a garbage man. But this is also something worth congratulating. Now you have officially learned how to use a spear that suits you. You must improve that skill, then you can continue on the path, becoming a superior person. Really do. That path is extremely difficult. You will constantly doubt whether this is the right path, and will want to give up, but remember, transcendence has no answers. No, only I am superior, but all existences in this world do not have exact answers. Hangvu said the last sentence, so you just need to firmly believe that the path you choose is correct. He teaches the final lesson, speed is not important. Complete the lecture on the power of the mountains by Xiangyu. Afternoon at the academy. Park Seoyoon saw that he had returned. She happily said, SeoJoon, you came at the right time. Park Seoyoon explained, it's nothing, about the hunter test. Last time I said, within a week from today, they will accept applications. Do you want to participate? Then Miss show me the notice board. Kim SeoJoon was a bit wary. What if he pretended? He thought to himself, but anyway, I was about to ask. Kim SeoJoon spoke up, yes, thanks to you. Park Seoyoon happily seemed to know the future, saying, I knew right away, so I will register to join for you. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, the score in the superhuman test was so bad that it was more than miserable, but since it was a superhuman test, the hunter test should be different. He smiled and looked at Park Seoyoon, who was helping him register, silently admiring the power of the boy mountain force that he had, after completing Xiangyu's lecture. Moreover, now he also had Longinus's spear. Kim SeoJoon wondered about his own abilities, what level he was at. Park Seoyoon smiled brightly and said, I've registered, and if nothing happens, the contest will take place 10 days later. He got close to Park Seoyoon's face, wondering, can I fight with Seoyoon now? This action made her blush. Standing still in place, Park Seoyoon stammered and asked him, why, what? Position? Kim SeoJoon was still lost in his thoughts, not paying attention to his actions. No, he didn't need to increase his listening rate. Kim SeoJoon rubbed his head and explained in confusion, it's nothing, but the admission is still good. Park Seoyoon's face is still red. Park Seoyoon also honestly said, well, I'm actually worried about that recently. She was a bit scared and continued, I don't know what my grandfather will do with the new enrollment period. SeoJoon will be able to get through it. Kim SeoJoon also sympathizes with her. He thought to himself, that's right, if there was a new student exam, the Sword Saint would come and scold her again. What are you doing again? For what purpose are you approaching SeoJoon? Kim SeoJoon silently calculated, maybe I should just try fighting with the Sword Saint just once. Park Seo-yoon continued helplessly, saying that's all, but it's my grandfather, I'll find a way. Moreover, what I'm worried about is which lecturer should I invite? Kim Seo-joon was a bit confused, asked again, lecturer, aren't you going to teach yourself? Park Seo-yoon smiled wryly and explained, I mainly teach, but I can't teach them all, each student has their own personality, so how can I just teach in my own way? Kim Seo-joon learned a new lesson, he thought to himself, I thought I could just teach, I even dreamed of being a teacher. Park Seo-yoon spoke up, so each field needs to have a lecturer in charge. Inviting people randomly is not okay, and everyone with a reputation costs money. Kim Seo-joon asked her in confusion, how much is the salary of a famous lecturer? Park Seo-yoon replied, each lecturer will be different, each person is different, but if you reach the level of a famous lecturer, then, 1 month it probably costs at least 100 million, the top ones probably have to pay a few billion. Hearing the number that Kim Seo-joon craved, he exclaimed, several billion. Kim Seo-joon now understood why a professional hunter would retire to teach at a hunter academy. Kim Seo-joon was excited, said, let's go, if you need my help, just say so. Park Seo-yoon was a bit confused but accepted, yes. 3 days later. He looked at his scoreboard and exclaimed, it was so boring, everyone thought that 100 points was the highest score, Kim Seo-joon failed almost every subject. Kim Seo-joon still has some comfort in his heart, after all, I have completed Xiong-yu's lectures, he mumbled regretfully to himself, Chiron's lectures, a little regretful, but the travel period is free. It's still there, so it should be fine, right? Mentor stepped out of the phone and excitedly said, I'm here. Kim Seo-joon was not surprised, he asked him, are you here? The mentor did not expect to receive this expression, he stood there dumbfounded, oh, you weren't surprised this time, your reaction was so cold. Kim Seo-joon was dumbfounded and replied, I know you're here. You said you'd come back before the free pass expires. I think when I finish listening to a lecture, you'll come back. Mentor was a bit surprised to hear this information. He had already finished listening to a course. He said, oh, I don't know what to say. The mentor's face was a bit gloomy. Kim Seo-joon asked him about the main problem, but how was your investigation going? Mentor blamed himself, oh yeah, it was my head. He shouted loudly, after all, it seemed like something big had happened. Kim Seo-joon said in confusion, what a big problem. Mentor sighed helplessly and said, about not having Kim Seo-joon's ID, before reporting to the director, I checked again, but, Kim Seo-joon thought to himself, the system error is quite serious, isn't it? Mentor's next words made him a bit stunned, no, Kim Seo-joon asked in disbelief, what? Mentor continued to say, at the Ultimate Academy there is no information about Kim Seo-joon. Kim Seo-joon shouted loudly, not expecting the information he just heard. Is there no information from me? What are you talking about? Mentor continued to explain, as I said, the Ultimate Academy does not have any member registration information for Kim Seo-joon. Kim Seo-joon understood the problem and asked again, what do you mean, am I not a member of the Ultimate Academy? He put his hand forward, signaling to stop. After a while before loading, Kim Seo-joon shouted loudly, that's not right, if that's the case then how could I have been listening to the Academy's lectures all this time? The mentor also argued back, that's what I mean. Mentor spoke at length for him to understand, the Ultimate Academy operates entirely on a membership basis, so if you're not a member you can't listen to the lectures, and you won't contact me in the first place, so what should I do? How about you? Kim Seo-joon voiced his doubts, didn't the director say anything special? I heard that he directly received the report. Mentor agreed and continued, yes, he had received a direct report, but the director did not know how specific this was. Kim Seo-joon was a bit surprised when receiving this information. He silently exclaimed, even though he didn't know who the dean was, he was in existence with great power. And that existence is not something that anyone wants to be able to know. Kim Seo-joon wondered and asked the mentor, was it a system error? The mentor denied his thoughts, no, the Supreme Academy's system was not at fault, unless cause and effect were changed. But that cause and effect will not change in any case. Mentor continued to talk at length about this issue. The director said that there were traces of someone's intervention, but we still didn't know who that person was and how that person did it. Kim Seo-joon was a bit confused. Confused, asked, if so, what should I do now? He expressed his doubts about whether he would ever be expelled from school. Mentor smiled brightly, comforting him. It's okay, it's probably just a misunderstanding. Mentor admitted his fault, this is a problem that arose from our side, not from Kim Seo-joon's side, it also has nothing to do with you, so when I said there was a big problem, that means we have big problems on our side. It comforts your mood, and you won't be forced to drop out of school. As I said before, once a member, always a member. Kim SeoJoon breathed a sigh of relief, so lucky. He thought to himself, I thought there would be absolutely no such thing as not having an id, but I didn't expect that there was a trace of someone interfering in this matter. Surely someone was intentionally causing this for some purpose. However, Kim SeoJoon still had doubts in his heart. Who exactly was he? He didn't understand why he was being targeted, why it was him. Kim SeoJoon feels like he's too normal to be targeted. He's just a person who dreams of becoming a hunter with a normal life every day, and every day is nothing special. He asked the mentor, anyway, it seems like there's nothing unusual right now, right? The mentor admitted and replied, yes, you just need to pay attention like now. He continued a bit embarrassedly, oh, and before finding the reason, because recreating a new it is very difficult, please understand. Kim SeoJoon also sympathized, because there were no special problems, so it was okay. He muttered to himself, well, let's forget this matter. The system notifies you that the remaining time of the free pass is 2 days. The system also sends a teaching progress table, the rate of conducting teaching on Chiron, 94.9%, the rate of conducting teaching on Shakyamuni, 15.5%, the rate of conducting teaching on Rangfu, 100%, Merlin teaching rate 19.9%. Kim SeoJoon silently calculated, the free pass time is about to end, I want advice on what to do next. The mentor cheerfully suggested, let me see, he said, of course, this is the job, it's mine. It confidently spoke up, first of all, to put it simply, the curriculum built at our Ultimate Academy is divided into 4 major sections: introductory, elementary, intermediate, and advanced. He is currently in the introductory phase of the Ultimate Academy's curriculum. Kim SeoJoon asked the mentor, if after completing the advanced stage of the program, will he become a pseudo-transcendent? He shook his head to deny, explaining, no, there is no such thing. There are many things after finishing advanced level. We only cover the program until advanced level, and after that the advice and lectures of we no longer have any value to our members. After completing the advanced program, you have reached a certain level. Each person will have their own training method to suit and bring effective results. Higher results. Mentor needs to call you up, excited to see, he continued, the stage from advanced to transcendent, compared to the stage from beginner to advanced, is much more difficult. In other words, it can be considered the new, advanced post-stage is a genuine start. Kim SeoJoon silently exclaimed, it is indeed a long, extremely long road. Mentor, after seeing that he was about to level up, asked, anyway, now you have to pass the introductory stage, which spear will you still choose as your main weapon? First, if the free pass ends, I'm sure you will have to buy it again. There. Mentor chirped and said, and if you buy a free pass, then you have to listen to private lectures, but tell me to introduce some exercises, just practice this exercise, anyone can get 500 lectures. Heracles, do you want to register for consulting lectures? If you register for the corresponding lecture, you will receive the magic level 5 force. The secret method initially becomes transcendent. Lecture, Jangzambong, do you want to register for the corresponding lecture? If you register for the corresponding lecture, you will receive a heavenly wife, a mausoleum with no false path. Mentor excitedly introduced, if you choose these 2, they seem good, let's try them out. Kim SeoJoon asked him a little confused, don't you practice mana and spear techniques anymore? Mentor answered his question, that's the curriculum for the intermediate stage. Of course if you still study then it's okay. He says his opinion, in my opinion, then you should learn more about them. At the introductory, elementary stage, you have to learn something, to have a foundation. Surely, you can learn more things later. Kim SeoJoon also understood his mentor, thinking to himself, if he was so determined, there must be a reason. He seriously replied, I know. The system is calculating the appropriate membership and membership costs for the user when participating in the Law of Cause and Effect class. Total tuition 2 billion. Kim SeoJoon gritted his teeth and was speechless. He said with a black face, if he was going to buy a free pass, it would cost a lot of money. How many zeros are there? The mentor still smiled brightly. He suggested, that's right, so you have to collect cause and effect regularly. A key. Kim SeoJoon held his chin and asked his question, but mentor, what exactly is cause and effect? Mentor explained to him, our Supreme Academy is the cause, indeed the students who join the academy. To put it simply, it is similar to status. Kim SeoJoon wondered, status? He continued to ask, so in the academy, what will that status help me get? The mentor was a bit confused, well, nothing, the lectures of the Ultimate Academy only have the role of helping students become pseudo-transcendents. Kim SeoJoon asked him, is there a reason? Mentor bowed his head slightly and said nothing. It slowly spoke, I can stand here with you now, this is the result. What I can tell you is the result. It stood in front of him, speaking quite incomprehensibly. When you reach a higher level of study, then you will naturally understand what I just said, what it means. Mentor smiled brightly and was about to rush towards him. From now on I will try to support you as much as possible, and study well. Kim SeoJoon still has a question, can I ask one more question? Mentor smiled brightly and replied, okay, I will answer any question that I can answer. He seriously asked him, are there other students besides me? The mentor confidently replied, of course, just look at the community to know. It was like reading his thoughts and speaking up, but his question was, are they in the same dimension as him, right? Kim SeoJoon didn't say anything, probably admitting it. Mentor explained, this is a bit vague, that's all I can say. It smiled brightly at him and boasted about its achievements. The Ultimate Academy currently has many users who are students. Here, there are currently 4 students who have become transcendent. This is the largest number in the entire those academies. Korea's 3rd-ranked Hunter Academy, including Hunter, Ale, and Gown. Each institute has its own courses and has its own characteristics, but everyone thinks that. If you want to learn magic, go to Ale Academy. If you want to learn about weapons, go to Gown. And if you want to know everything, go to the Hunter Academy. People often say, there is nothing special, meaning there are no special shortcomings at all. From that one can guess how popular the Hunter Academy is, which can become one of the 3 academies. Korea's top. And finally, the day of the mock exam to become a professional hunter, organized by the Hunter Academy, has arrived. Both Kim SeoJoon and Park Seo-eun were present at the Hunter Academy. She called him. Kim SeoJoon invited him to come over here. Park Seo-eun explained, there will be more people later, it's better for us to go quickly. The tour guide spoke up, all the students participating. The tour guide, please go this way, Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, it feels completely different. They went to security, introduced Dream Academy's Park Seo-eun, and contestant Kim SeoJoon. Kim SeoJoon exclaimed in surprise. This mock exam is a competition between 4 ministries, so the scale of investment is also different. The most outstanding person, winning first place, will receive a scholarship worth 1 billion. 1. He thought to himself, the amount of money to buy a new free pass is probably about 500 million. Calculation system, free pass, 5 billion. During the past time, I worked hard in the dungeon, but the amount of money I saved did not exceed 30 million won. He remembered the time he collapsed in the park. Even though he stood firm, he still collapsed. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, although the mentor mentioned some special lectures to me, the most important thing right now is still the free pass. He was filled with determination. To get such a large amount of money, there was no other way than to get first place in the mock exam. The other person looked at their documents and allowed them to pass through the gate. Okay, I confirmed. After receiving it, I would like to invite both of you to come inside. Kim SeoJoon was surprised by the image before his eyes. Huh? The tour guide shouted loudly, don't jostle or push, there are a lot of people here, so please line up. Kim SeoJoon muttered, people aren't complicated, of course they can't compare to competition. Park Seo-eun responded excitedly, after all, this is the Hunter Academy's mock exam, maybe we should go faster, right? She left, not forgetting her ex Kim SeoJoon, then we will go first, everyone take care of your health and take the exam well, I believe you can do it. He also waved to her, yes thank you Seo-eun. Someone's angry voice rang out, what, can't you see the cue? Other people were also angry and scolded, I don't know who suddenly interrupted like that. Kim SeoJoon stuck his head out to see what was going on. He thought to himself, are they still arguing? One person shouted angrily, hey that guy, hey I said you, that's you. The tall, blonde-haired man put his hands in his pockets and responded defiantly, yeah? He asked the guy being stopped by the tour guide, what's going on? He's Kim Kang-chul, Hunter Academy. The other guy shouted indignantly, what is that, why isn't that guy in line? The tour guide said confusedly, I'm sorry, but that person has priority to get in first. Kim Kang-chul still looked like he didn't care. Life, enter. The other guy asked again, what you just said? Other people realized who just walked in, hey, isn't that Kim Kang-chul? Other people were also surprised, looking around looking for him. Kim Kang-chul, where? The other person seemed to have met an idol, exclaiming, oh, it's really Kim Kang-chul. Others couldn't believe their eyes and asked again, what is it, Hunter Academy? Another person seemed surprised to join the discussion. I didn't know who the Hunter Academy would send to participate. Who would have thought that they would send Kim Kang-chul? They agreed, that's right, Kim Kang Chol, on the Ale side it's Lee De Yunkan, on the Ago side it's Jin Dong Min. That person was sure of his thinking. This test of the Hunter Academy was the best ever. If it was Kim Kang Chol, from the Hunter Academy, he would definitely be in the top 3. Kim Kang Chol is now facing Kim SeoJoon. He looked at him with hateful eyes. Then go through it. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, what a good seed for the Hunter Academy. The people outside clicked their tongues and laughed. What, students of the Hunter Academy, so what, huh? They bet with each other, so guess who will win? Other people also chimed in, I guess Kim Kang Chol, Lee Dan and Jin Dong Min are not average. In terms of ability, Kim Kang Chol is at the top. I heard that Kim Kang Chol has someone in the Catholic Church. Lee has his back, so what the hell is this competition with him? A voice rang out, asking, let me in. The person talking to him asked in confusion, the Academy's mock exam, what about hunters? The black-haired guy asked for information about the person named Kim Kang Chol from the people at the same academy. Because he studied at the same academy, he probably knew something about Kim Kang Chol. The other person provoked him. I don't know, what's wrong? The other person spoke up, it's not like that. The guy wearing glasses spoke his opinion, even if he is a student, there are people pretending to be students of the Star Hunter Academy. The person who asked to come in just now asked in disbelief, why me? No, the black-haired guy replied confusedly to the glasses wearer, well, that's it, actually. They were confused when they heard the voice keep asking to be let in, but whose voice was it just now? The other person shouted angrily, I told him to let me in. This sound made the person freeze and look towards that person. Kim SeoJoon is also a bit confusing. He looked at that person and exclaimed, there were so many swords, spears, bows and arrows, weapons hanging everywhere, could it be possible to use all of them? The person was annoyed and took out the participation form, but the tour guide still wouldn't let him in. I also came to participate, hey, this is the registration form, so let me in. The tour guide's voice was cold. Request, please line up and then be allowed in. He angrily pointed inside, intending to reason, just now that person was allowed in, but why couldn't I? Had to go in line. The tour guide crossed his arms, explaining, because he is a student at the Hunter Academy. He had a careless look on his face and replied, student of the Hunter Academy, so what, is there any difference? The people behind couldn't bear it, shouted loudly, hey, all the participants must line up, understand, you're delaying time, quickly get back in line, other people don't have time to line up and just stand there waiting for you. He was then carried away by 2 tour guides. He was helpless and could only say, ha. Being dragged away, he still raised his voice and shouted, where did he get that kind of law? Kim SeoJoon saw this and exclaimed, wow, the staff were really great. The tour guide saw that he was stuck with his hands and feet and asked him to stop standing here, go over there. Kim SeoJoon muttered to himself, actually students from all the academies across the country were present here. The young man who had just been dragged away was unwilling and begged, I also want to go in. The stadium is crowded and noisy. The practitioners are trying their best to run. Among them, the guy with wine-red hair who stood out was breathing heavily. My name is Park Do-sok. To briefly introduce myself, I am an apprentice hunter studying at a Class 2 academy. To put it more objectively, I am a capable person who can go to prestigious places in the world. Prestigious like Hunter Mill, Ale, Gown, but why do I study at a second-class academy? It's all about money. The yearly tuition of Korea's top 3 academies is calculated lightly in units. Hundreds of millions, so I had to grit my teeth and go to a second-rate school so I could get a scholarship. Everyone comforted me that it was better to be the head of a snake than the tail of a dragon, but I didn't agree with that statement, but I ended up being a tail. Dragons can also fight dragons, but to be a snake's head, you have to compete with those snakes. Even though he was sweating profusely, Do-sok could still run, he thought. To be able to cross the village pond, I took the mock exam, and was very satisfied with this choice. Do-sok looked admiringly at SeoJoon next to him and thought, it was thanks to him. The Hunter Mill contest includes 5 subjects, not an essay exam among the subjects to become a professional hunter. Those 5 tests can be mentioned as, basic physical strength, mana usage, dungeon attack, and among the 5 tests, 2 are fighting strength, 1 is fighting against monsters, 2 is fighting against monsters. People. Basic fitness is the first category. Fitness is a simple, clear exercise, running 3 kilometers within 5 minutes repeatedly, running 3 kilometers in 5 minutes successfully, then running another kilometer. If you can't run, then the result will only be counted up to that point. If you succeed, then run another lap. If you fail, then the evaluation will end. In short, the main factor to evaluate physical fitness is how many times you can run. Dusok thought, sweating like a stream. At first I thought he was some stupid guy, but who knows, after running 15 laps, he and I were the only ones left on the field. Dusok closed his eyes and nose and tried his best to run, whispering in his heart, so I can't acknowledge this person running with me. Dusok panted and looked behind, then turned back and continued running, silently agreeing with himself, just a little more. Dusok reached out and thought, just need to win against him, just need to surpass him. Dusok tried so hard that he frowned. I was panting like I was having respiratory failure, but satisfaction was surging through my body. Dusok's bracelet rang once, 5 minutes and 12 seconds, ending the assessment. Dusok stopped panting, looking up at SeoJoon who was still running straight ahead. Even though he was tired, Dusok still smiled with satisfaction. I had broken through my limits when competing with dragons. Dusok looked at SeoJoon running and thought, here he comes. Dusok held out his hand, his face covered in sweat but still smiling brightly. You won, my friend. SeoJoon passed Dusok before he could finish his sentence. Thanks to him, I got a very good score. SeoJoon's face didn't change, he ran past Dusok. Why did I feel so relieved? While Dusok still stood there gloomily, crying in his heart, I was the only one who was sincere. The scene changed to a practice room. The contestants were silent, silently wondering if he was human. The reason why the contestants were speechless was still lifting the weights up and down. SeoJoon innocently counted, 1, 2. SeoJoon lifted the weight, stood up and said loudly, 3. The other contestants all looked at SeoJoon with wide eyes. Looking at SeoJoon lifting the weight up and down nonstop, the yellow hat guy couldn't believe it. It's impossible. The black shirt guy also froze. Look at the curved bar. Is he a real person? On the other hand, SeoJoon still didn't know the other eyes were looking at him but still lifted the weight up and down without getting tired. He thought, it's not as heavy as I thought, even though I exercise every day. Why do I do it? Is it possible that it's this easy? It's the same as running right now, maybe because I was able to use the force of painting like an instinct after completing Hangvu's course. SeoJoon was excited when he thought about this. If the force of painting is already this strong, then how much more will it be if he finishes the Hercules course? The system's notice board appears, as long as you exercise and lift 503 times, Hercules course, if you complete the corresponding course you will have S-level divine power. Hearing about S-level divine power, SeoJoon was immediately fired up with fighting spirit. Let's make some money. A passing employee saw this and stammered, you've worked hard, rest for a while, then take the exam. Next subject. Gang Chul suddenly heard the voice of a staff member, candidate Kim Gang Chul, you have worked hard, please rest a bit and continue taking the next exam. The other contestants looked at Gang Chul who was calmly walking with admiration. It was true that Kim Gang Chul was different. In fact, people whose abilities exceed the standards in the audition have no meaning at all. Kim Gang Chul, Lee Do-yoon, and Jin Dong-min, these 3 people participated in the audition just to show off their reputation and the position of the 3 largest hunter academies in Korea. Gang Chul thought, to be more precise, this was a battle of pride between the 3 academies. A mysterious person wearing a hat said, Kim Gang Chul, this time you should participate in the audition that is about to be held and follow Kim SeoJoon's movements for me. That person also carefully advised him that he didn't need to say anything, just looking at what Kim SeoJoon did was enough. Gang Chul recalled the conversation between him and the mysterious person wearing the hat. He thought, in the past, they had supported him in the Truth Church without making much demands, just asking them if they need anything. I will definitely help them, but what is this unexpected request, and who is Kim SeoJoon? For about a month, I seem to have heard this name in the chaotic dungeon. When Gang Chul faced SeoJoon, he thought, I just met him by chance while walking on the street, he's nothing terrible. Gang Chul was confused when he saw everyone surprised and one person said, what is that? Gang Chul looked at the screen and thought, I got a point. Basic physical fitness rankings. First place Kim SeoJoon 100 points, second place Lee Min-yeol 91 standard points, third place Kim Gang Chul 89 standard points, fourth place Jin Dong-min 80 standard points, fifth place Lee Do-yoon 82 standard points. Gang Chul widened his eyes when he saw the results. Gang Chul thought in bewilderment, what the heck, the gap is 11 points, so I'm still third place, not second place. Lee Min-yeol, who is this guy? Someone so good that he can dominate. If it's me then there's no way I don't know the name, this is the first time I've heard this name. Gang Chul collapsed, where did he come from? Gang Chul scratched his head and turned away, trying to reassure himself, let's be honest, sometimes there are only a few outstanding candidates in certain subjects, we cannot let this situation continue in the next subject. On the ranking of ability to fight monsters, first place Kim SeoJoon 100 standard points, second place Kim Min-yeol 97 standard points, third place Kim Gang-chul 94 standard points, fourth place Lee Do-yoon 93 standard points, fifth place Jin Dong minimum 92 standard points. Gang-chul immediately gasped in surprise after reading the rankings. Gang-chul remembered the words of the mysterious man in the hat. Kim Gang-chul didn't need to do anything, he just needed to observe what Kim SeoJoon did. He frowned and thought, I don't need to do anything. MC introduced, the second subject is the use of mana. The subject is judged based on the number of attacks by attacking the shield generator, so the contestants must try to use mana optimally to attack. The shield broke. SeoJoon looked sad and thought, I'm not very confident about mana. SeoJoon pondered, even though I have roughly grasped what mana is through Merlin's course, I don't know how to use mana clearly, is that okay? Most other candidates received normal results. MC calls the next person, next contestant Lee Do-yoon. SeoJoon saw a girl with her hair tied up, went over to check her mana usage. Someone said, oh Lee Do-yoon. Lee Do-yoon, wearing the black and yellow uniform of Allen Academy, confidently walked up with her staff. Someone admired her and said, I'm her fan. Do-yoon walked to the mana usage check area. The referee said, you can start as soon as you are ready. Do-yoon creates a fire. Do-yoon chanted the spell, starting to create stronger fire magic. Then Do-yoon released it. The people below were all surprised and said, she also knows how to change the shape of mana. It's true that when it comes to using mana, no one can keep up with Ale Academy, not just because she came from Ale Academy, she can do that because she is Lee Do-yoon. SeoJoon was surprised and said, so it was magic. The referee said, it's been hard, you can retake the test 2 more times. Do-yoon walked down the stairs, no, it's okay. Seeing that, the referee immediately called the next person. Next, contestant Kim SeoJoon. He answered, yes. SeoJoon went up, and Do-yoon went down, looking at each other in silence. SeoJoon scratched his head and walked up. Do-yoon chuckled. SeoJoon held the spear and thought, well, let's try. In speaking, the table can start as soon as it's ready. SeoJoon pointed the tip of the spear at the ground and started chanting magic. He thought, even though he was not confident, he still had to do it. Before Do-yoon's watching eyes, SeoJoon activated his power while talking to himself. I don't need to pay attention to the power of the force, so I just need to create Merlin's mana. SeoJoon opened his eyes. Holding the spear, rushed to the barrier to check mana. SeoJoon raised the spear and swung it down. The barrier was cut in 2 before SeoJoon's unexpectedly surprised eyes. SeoJoon looked at the results he had created, surprised. The stream of power from the broken barrier caused the referee to block his defense. Do-yoon gasped, what is that? The scene was simultaneously engulfed in silence. The rankings show new results. First place Kim SeoJoon 100 standard points, second place Lee Do-yoon 85 standard points. Everyone did not meet each other but simultaneously fell into silence. SeoJoon stood above, looking at the results he created, bewildered. Oh, why is that? SeoJoon looked at the spear and thought, maybe it's not. Then the mana shield generator broke down, so the competition had to be postponed. The staff went on stage. One called, yes yes, when will you come? The other touched a part of the machine. Create a mana shield. How could this machine break? Perhaps they had never expected it to break in half like this, so they were unprepared, and after all the ups and downs, the result was recalculated. The rankings of the mana usage competition were announced as, first place Kim SeoJoon 100 standard points, second place Lee Min-yeol 90 standard points, third place Lee Do-yoon 85 standard points, fourth place Kim Gang-chul 83 standard score, fifth place Jin Dong minimum 82 standard points. After reading the rankings, everyone commented, what is going on now? Oh my god, the hunters of the 3 biggest academies are ranked second, really? After all, Kim, who is SeoJoon? SeoJoon hid in the crowd and thought, if it was the SeoJoon I knew, this would be extremely understandable. She heard people around her discuss, wait a minute, that contestant's name is Kim SeoJoon. A month ago he was the one who solved the chaotic dungeon incident. Someone immediately replied, chaotic dungeon? Oh yes, okay, he was the one who personally defeated level 6 Nerkura, so why not? He must be a student at Dream Academy, right? SeoJoon clutched her skirt, but if she reached the point, if it was SeoJoon, it was entirely possible to reach first place. Some people loudly asserted that this mock exam has no meaning. SeoJoon silently said in her heart, she had no intention of letting him take the lead with such an overwhelming gap, so no one would know which direction this professional hunter competition would go. Shokman sat on the observation stand, turned to the person next to him and said, well, the candidate's abilities are not ordinary at all. I have to change the difficulty of this year's professional hunter exam. The other person replied that there will soon be a meeting with the president of the association. SeoJoon looked at the two people below chatting with each other. She really didn't expect Kim Gang-chul to be this far behind, ranked low in the Hunter Mill test. Knowing that, I would have let Lee Ha-yoon go instead of Lee Gang-chul. Let Lee Ha-yoon take the Hunter Mill exam. Lee Ha-yoon was trained very methodically to become the ultimate weapon. SeoJoon was silent when she heard the rumors. So is there any contestant who can compete with Kim Se-joon other than Lee Ha-yoon? It's true that even if Lee Ha-yoon participates, he may not be able to defeat him. SeoJoon looked up again at the rankings of the Manhwa competition. Everyone's attention is focused on first place Kim Se-joon. Oh, Kim Se-joon is really different. On the other hand, Kim SeoJoon was still sitting bewildered. He held the spear and thought, why is this happening? SeoJoon looked back at the spear in his hand. He thought, this is the holy spear that stabbed Jesus when he was hanging on the cross. Just this oral story is enough to realize that its power is not the same as before. SeoJoon was gloomy, thinking that his spear was just a fake. The problem is that I have to know exactly what kind of power it is. What I know is just a story passed down, only that story and nothing else. Any explanation? Does that mean Longinus' spear has the power to defeat Mana shields, or does it simply close the distance? I don't know. SeoJoon was remembering the time he split the mana barrier generator in half when he suddenly heard music. The wall was taming the world for his own peace. SeoJoon silently thought, well, buy another weapon and try to compare. The music still didn't stop, making SeoJoon speechless. I'm still immature. SeoJoon saw a young man carrying a shield, bow, spear and other weapons, still optimistically singing, only with love and faith can one close, he thought. Who else is that person, who is happily chanting? What has been going on since then? SeoJoon noticed the weapons that person was carrying, the weapons on his back. SeoJoon remembered what happened before and thought, I've seen this face somewhere before. He's the strange guy who caused trouble with the authority on the street. The other person turned around and was singing when suddenly then stop. He happily ran to SeoJoon. Nice to meet you, are you Kim Se-joon? SeoJoon was startled and asked, do you know me? He replied, I know, why don't I know the superstar in the competition? This time okay. He pointed at himself and introduced, I'm Lee Min-yul, SeoJoon said, Lee Min-yul. SeoJoon suddenly pointed and said, ah, you're number 2, right? He smiled and replied, that's right. Min-yul put his hand behind his head and said, hearing someone in position 1 like you call me someone in position 2 makes me feel strange. SeoJoon looked at him and thought, what's wrong with him? Min-yul waved his hand and said, no, you don't need to be so cautious. I'm just curious to know what kind of person you are. Oh, maybe I used honorifics. If that's the case, then please forgive me. Look, you seem to be the same age as me, so I was so careless. SeoJoon looked dumbfounded and thought, what's wrong with him? SeoJoon hugged the tree, looked at Min-yul with a relieved smile, and whispered in his heart, but it seemed like he wasn't looking for him to fight, but his personality was like someone who likes to cause trouble. Min-yul suddenly turned around in bewilderment when he heard that. The announcement sounded, the dungeon raid was about to begin. Everyone got ready. SeoJoon is walking on the grass. The wind blew gently, blowing blades of grass through SeoJoon's hair. SeoJoon stood straight, holding a spear in his hand. This was a dungeon made with augmented reality technology. The second subject in the Hunter Mill exam is dungeon raid. The main evaluation factor is the time to attack the dungeon. While SeoJoon was thinking and saying that this is reality, I also believe it, there was a monster standing behind him, observing him. The monsters I need to destroy are 10 Nercuras. From behind SeoJoon, 5 Nercura monsters rushed together to attack him. SeoJoon discovered it and gave each one a cut. Finally, all 5 Nercuras returned to the motherland. SeoJoon gently jumped down, seemingly not wanting to talk. Why Nercura? SeoJoon stood on the back of a Nercura and said, this is a monster created by augmented reality, so its level is about 1 to 2 levels lower than reality, but they still set the difficulty to this terrible level. SeoJoon was suddenly alert. SeoJoon jumped up, cutting off Nercura's hand. SeoJoon beheaded Nercura easily, he thought, completely different from then. Of course these are very different from Nercura, but I also feel like I'm very different from back then. Just 3 months ago I was still a useless person, busy with everything. Living day to day, strictly speaking, I'm just an ordinary person trying to survive, but I became a student at the Ultimate Academy, met SeoJoon and my life began to change from there. SeoJoon jumped up and gently cut off the Nercura's heads and then landed. He thought, I have no intention of being complacent about this. SeoJoon put the tip of the spear on the ground. His face was covered in sweat, his breathing was heavy, but anyway, Really, his journey to becoming a superior person was still very far and full of obstacles. SeoJoon stood on the body of a Nerkira breathing heavily. Below were a series of corpses of other Nerkiras. He thought, becoming the best hunter in the world is not that far away. At the same time the rankings immediately there was an announcement. First place Kim SeoJoon got 100 standard points. The other contestants all stared at SeoJoon. SeoJoon held the spear and thought, everyone was looking at him. Kim SeoJoon ranked first in the dungeon raid competition, with a standard score of 100 points, and accumulated standard points for first place. Someone looked at SeoJoon, annoyed. SeoJoon looked at him with puzzled eyes. The other person crossed his arms and grimaced. Suddenly an anonymous name like this appeared. He was Jin Dong-min, ranked 5th in the dungeon raid test, standard score of 93, cumulative target points. Standard 4th place, standing next to him is Lee Do-yoon who achieved 4th place in the dungeon raid competition, standard score of 94, accumulating standard points for 5th place. SeoJoon felt the eyes staring at him from the other two people and said silently in his heart, that's too cruel. It's true that as long as I don't lose my status or surrender, I will definitely win. I want to participate. Participating in a competition with a predetermined winner, this is a predictable thing. If you make a fuss, you'll only be the one who's to blame, so leave them alone. This reaction is much more surprising. Lee Min-yul ranked 5th in the dungeon raid test, standard score 98 points, cumulative standard score reached 2nd place. He made a fuss in front of SeoJoon. What a pity, clearly I can win this time but... SeoJoon looked at Gang Chul and thought, the first time I met Kim Gang Chul I saw that he had very high self-esteem, but he was strangely silent, and Min-yul was still talking about the exam. Just now, I thought I had taken care of them so quickly, but how could you do it so quickly? You're really great. On the other side, Gang Chul was silently standing against the wall. He ranked 3rd in the competition. Dungeon raid test, standard score 95, cumulative standard score is 3rd place. SeoJoon smiled politely and said, thank you, but you're also good. Min-yul put his hand on SeoJoon's shoulder and replied, don't use honorifics anymore, it's very sad if I just say empty words. SeoJoon hesitated, well if that's the case. Min-yul smiled with her eyes wide open, ha 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 it's fun to be comfortable with each other like this. SeoJoon pointed and said, but I was already curious before, what is the weapon you have on your shoulder, are you using it? Min-yul turned his head back and replied, oh this, yes, no one taught me how to use it. I just used it haphazardly and then suddenly learned how to use it. SeoJoon was surprised. SeoJoon suddenly said, no one, that means you are a free contestant. Min-yul crossed his arms in front of his chest and replied, if free contestants practice on their own, then that's right. Free candidates are people who do not go to the academy but study on their own. They are usually people who have neither money nor talent. Sometimes, very rarely, there is an outstanding character among the candidates. SeoJoon pondered, if he practiced on his own and could win the seeds of the top 3 academies, he would be super talented. SeoJoon told Min-yul, why, if it was in your range, every academy would want to recruit you. He replied, well I don't like being tied to anywhere. Min-yul pointed and said, and actually, I also have a teacher, yes, but he doesn't know there are students like me. SeoJoon looked at Min-yul confused and asked, what was that? A staff member ran in to announce, contestants, sorry, but an unexpected problem occurred. Every contestant focused on him to listen to the story. Everyone started to panic. What is this? A sudden problem. Hearing that, Gang Chul smiled meaningfully. The staff came to inform us that the people assigned to be examiners for this exam were unable to arrive on schedule because of an unexpected situation. Gang Chul asked, what do you mean by that? The employee brother didn't know how to answer this. The employee explained that the lecturers were chosen to be the judges of this competition. While on their way here, a dungeon suddenly appeared. After all, it was a 10-star dungeon so they did not know what to do. Is there any other way then to directly solve the problem? Gang Chul was surprised. The blue-haired guy standing next to him said, so what about this exam? The employee immediately replied, we are currently in an emergency meeting, we are very sorry, once we have the results we will immediately notify everyone, so please wait a little longer. The contestants all grimaced, waiting for such a long time. Gang Chul thought, this time the incident was definitely arranged by the Church of Justice. I don't know how they created a 10-star dungeon, but if it was the Church of Justice, then they are completely capable. The problem is, this could cause the mock exam to stop. If this continues, Kim SeoJoon will become the winner and everything will end meaninglessly. I don't think the Church of Justice worked hard to arrange it. Just to achieve this result. Gang Chul opened his mouth and said, we just need to stand still and observe. Gang Chul stepped forward and asked, what about changing the format of the exam? The staff asked again, what was the format of the exam? Gang Chul said, isn't the other subject about individual combat ability? If so, let the students participate in one-on-one combat. Any. One contestant turned to say to the person next to him, is it okay? The employee said in surprise that it makes sense to say so, but in reality it is very difficult to do. The employee explained the difficulties of Gang Chul's method. The number of students participating in the Hunter Academy's mock exam was very large. If it was conducted in the form of a one-on-one battle, it would be expensive. A lot of time, and we don't have that much time. Furthermore, if we do that, there will also be problems in calculating the scores. It's better that we change another judge and wait for them to come. Gang Chul spoke briefly. If the judges were changed, they would have to be at least A-level hunters or higher. Would it be possible to immediately find such hunters now? Gang Chul said, above all, we can't keep waiting here forever. Minyul also agreed, this is right. The employee thoughtfully said, anyway, if it's going to be a one-on-one fight, Gang Chul interjected the employee's words, then how about this final test using event organization? Not all students and only those who want to participate can register and take the exam. The employee asked again, how to organize the event? Gang Chul said, the mock exam is currently being broadcast nationwide. It is being watched by all the people, associations and government officials too. Because of this incident, wouldn't the exam being interrupted make the image of Hunter students worse? The Hunter brother pondered, Gang Chul thought, if the exam ends like this, the reputation of the Hunter Academy, one of the top 3 academies in the country, will be seriously affected. Is giving an opinion on how to solve this exam, and Kim SeoJoon is the leader giving the opinion, but from the standpoint of others, all of this is due to the students' lack of preparation. Hunter Institute have to find a way to divert people's attention to something else and give them something worth watching, and most of all, if I win against Kim SeoJoon there. Gang Chul imagined himself defeating SeoJoon, greedily thinking, all the fame that Kim SeoJoon had before would belong to him, even though Kim SeoJoon would definitely be the overall winner of the competition. This time, I will be recognized by everyone as someone who defeated Kim SeoJoon. Gang Chul, do you know what you eat when crowing early? If you crow early, you will follow the teacher, Gang Chul. Yoon stepped forward and said, I have an idea. Dong Min crossed his arms over his chest and smiled. It seemed like a good idea, I agreed. Gang Chul turned back to look at the two people thinking, they know my intention. Minute Yul excitedly said, ha ha, that was interesting. Minute Yul turned to SeoJoon and asked, and you, are you participating, is that right? Sang Chul stood still and watched. He thought, well Kim SeoJoon, what are you going to do? All eyes focused on Kim SeoJoon. SeoJoon pondered, He said, from a certain perspective, this is an additional test, and if you win, you will receive additional bonuses. The organization method has been decided, the organizing committee immediately announcing the organization of an emergency competition event. The total number of participants is 15. Prospective students from each academy will be the participating representatives. Event this time. Gang Chul, Dong Min and Yoon all appeared on the screen together. Everyone was excited. Wow, Hunter Academy, Gaon Academy, Ale Academy all participated. Not only that, there was also Kim SeoJoon and Lee Min-yul who defeated all 3 major academies. You see, because of this the news site is about to collapse. It's crazy, you can watch it live. Not only that, Dong Min had defeated a contestant. The referee shouted. The winner was Jin Dong Min of Gaon Academy. Next, Yoon also defeated another contestant easily with mana. The referee excitedly shouted, it's really impossible to resist fire magic. Lee Ji-yoon is the winner. Not to mention Gang Chul, he won and overwhelmed his opponent. The referee once again shouted loudly, truly unrivaled, Kim Gang Chul won. Dong Min smirked and thought, I will definitely defeat you. Yoon also had the same thought, I will show everyone the difference of real combat magic. Gang Chul is determined that he will make him regret participating. All 3 of them had no appointment but had the same goal, preparing to go to Kim SeoJoon. Meanwhile, the 3 people's goal was still sitting in the break room and thinking, the prize should be about 1 million won. In addition to the reward for the winner, if I win this event, the total amount I will earn can be up to 2 million won.